We're here at the Bat Blitz in North Carolina, and we're gathering valuable information about bats. We're collecting information about species, numbers, and the health of bats. There's a disease called white nose syndrome that has killed millions of bats, and it's spreading to caves and mines across the country where bats hibernate in the winter. And while the fungus doesn't grow on bats in the summer like it does in the winter when they're hibernating, bats can still carry spores of the fungus known to cause white nose syndrome. So we need to be very careful, but when we're conducting research, to minimize chances that we contribute to the spread. So we are following special decontamination protocols that were developed by the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And before folks come here to the Blitz, they're washing their vehicles, their equipment, their storage bins, their chairs, and they're even washing the interior of their vehicles. And they have multiple changes of clothes so that they don't go into the field with contaminated clothes. Scientists use lots of equipment when they're capturing bats and recording data for their Blitz. They're catching bats in mist nets, which are really fine, special, small mesh nets, and they use equipment including things like wing punches and rulers and gloves. And all of this equipment is decontaminated so that we don't contribute to the spread of white nose syndrome. While we're in the field, we decontaminate all equipment that comes in contact with the bat's body, such as rulers and scissors, in between each bat. So in between use, we decontaminate those items. We use Lysol wipes and allow it to sit for 10 minutes, and then we rinse with water and we dry it. And after we're finished for the night, at about 1 in the morning, we sanitize everything that was used during netting. So we put large items, such as poles, boots, chairs, and tables on a large plastic sheet out in the field, and we either wipe all of that down with Lysol wipes or we spray it with a Lysol solution. We put all of the clothes that we've worn while we were working with bats into a bin or into a garbage bag, and we seal that up for later decontamination. We then move into the clean zone, and that's where we put on our clean clothes so that we can get into our vehicles and go home for the evening. Once we're back at the Bat Blitz headquarters, folks drop off the bins and bags that have contaminated items so that those can be decontaminated at the station. While some of the decontamination is done in the field, some of it is done right here at the decontamination area at the Blitz. So we have a field of our decon crew who are decontaminating items that weren't decontaminated in the field. After all of that's done, the team leaders and folks that are participating in the Blitz will pick up their decontaminated supplies and be ready to go out for the next night of netting. And we're just being extremely cautious. It's very important that humans do all that they can to prevent inadvertently spreading white nose syndrome.